We're trying a new little, we'll call it a segment that we're calling like here or there or something. Basically
We haven't
comparing.
figured out the name, but
Cool.
think of it as here or there for now.
We're just looking for like honest comparisons between like where you were. So I think it can be both too. And would you say Madison is where you spent the most time?
Yes.
Other than, okay, Madison and then Santa Barbara. We can do both. Might be a little complicated to the to the viewer, or the listener. And yeah, basically just like we have a bunch of different sort of categories, I guess. And not just saying like this place is better than this, but like how are they different?
Sure.
Not a competition.
It's kind of a conversation.
Yeah.
So I guess the first would be like cost of living, which I feel like it's almost opposite for both of you.
I mean, life is a lot better here with the cost of living. Things in California cost a lot.
Yeah. And so do you remember house prices, like medians at all?
I mean, like 1 million.
Yeah, for like.
For Santa Barbara, yeah.
Yeah.
For a condo,
Yeah.
2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Tiny yard. Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
And I mean, coming from Chicago, the cost of living went down coming here, which is awesome.
It is. It's pretty weirdly expensive.
Yeah, I think like rent is maybe kind of almost on par. You guys probably know better. But yeah, I mean, everything else felt a lot more affordable down one further here.
Interesting. Any idea what your current house would cost in either one?
I mean,
our house would probably cost 1.5.
I mean, we have half an acre right now.
Yeah, I mean,
we have a view of the skyline, like location. Yeah, in Chicago, you would be a couple million, and that's if you could even find that.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to just skip weather, or should we?
Let's do weather.
Do you want to hear the difference in regular weather?
I do want
Santa Barbara.
Okay.
You have the floor. Ed.
Well, I think there's 350 days of sunshine in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Like average temp is probably 70 all year. Coastal, so you do have cool mornings and evenings, but paradise really.
As good, arguably, as weather gets.
Yeah.
But there's no snow, so if you like the snow, it's not for you.
Yeah. Less variety.
No seasons.
Yeah, they don't have seasons. Yeah.
There's no leaves turning red.
I'm curious to your thoughts on this. I've felt this as I've traveled or spent any amount of time mostly in like the likes of Southern California, where they're like the warm evening. I really enjoy a warm summer evening, and that like doesn't exist there, or I had yet to experience one. They were always chilly.
It's very rare in Santa Barbara. Depending on where the wind is blowing. So if you have the coastal wind, you have a cool evening. But once in a while, you have the Santa Ana winds, which is the wind coming from the valley.
Yeah.
And so that gives you a really nice, really gentle, warm breeze. And that's very nice.
A treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, it's got to happen.
And it's only in the summertime. Yeah. There's no Santa Ana's really blowing hot air in the winter.
Cool. Very specific thing, but okay. My bad. So maybe we'll get back to this one. So you mentioned the people, you like the people. How have you found meeting people as it differs to there?
I guess for me, it's not that hard to meet people with the activities that I do. So in both places, but I feel like here I've made like friends, like really great friends that I'll have for a long time. Whereas like, I don't really talk to the friends I have back, but like I have amazing friends in Santa Barbara, but I've known them for a really long time. And so I don't just make that many new friends and hold the relationship over there. Whereas here, like I played golf, pickleball, and I've made incredible people.
Cool.
So, yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the meeting of people?
I think initially, I mean, it was easier for me because I had college friends, so I kind of had a baked-in community, right? And I think initially it was a little tough, when I was in my mid-20s, younger 20s, because a lot of people are still hanging out with their college or high school friends, and, it's tough. But I've similarly, whereas Ashley is, very athletic and skilled in that way, I have my professional lawyer communities, nerdy communities. But once you kind of find a shared interest with people, those relationships have grown from just that kind of, community, partnership, whatever, shared interest to actually genuine friendships.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really common fear is that people are like, or you can read on Reddit that it's hard to meet people because they've all known each other since childhood. But it's good to hear, like, if you have a hobby or, anything that puts you with people that at least you had an easier time of it.
Not entirely sure what I'm expecting from this answer, but job market as like, I guess, you were a professional person in a different city, and Ashley, your job was always remote. So I guess I don't know, how that differs. Yeah. From place to place, but
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever thoughts that you might have on finding a job in the Twin Cities versus Chicago or Madison.
I mean, so I'm, like I said, I'm a lawyer. And so I'm not looking for other jobs right now. Maybe in the future, I'll give it up. But I haven't found it too challenging as a professional, especially if you just kind of put yourself out there a little bit and you make a network. I found that, at least in the lawyer world, people here are genuinely want to help you and will look out for you. I found it a lot easier here to find mentors, especially in my profession. And I just found it a lot more accessible. There obviously aren't as many opportunities as like Chicago, for example. But once you are kind of in a network, it's really, people are very encouraging. And so, you still have to apply and interview and all that. But, for example, I was able to get a teaching job, which is something I never would have thought of even applying for in Chicago, because it just would have been, no way. But like here, I knew someone who knew that there was an opening, and, they were like happy to connect me. And also now I'm teaching part-time, which is awesome. And so I think I found it, very supportive in that way here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool to hear. How about like the nature and or natural beauty between the two? I think it's apples and oranges between Santa Barbara and here, but
it's very different. Yeah. I mean, Santa Barbara, you have the mountains, you have the ocean. Here it's pretty flat. So and there's no ocean, but you have lakes, which is beautiful. We don't do that much hiking, but we have in really pretty places. It just looks very different. Yeah. But if you need your nature fix, you can definitely find it here.
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason why when she came to visit, like I immediately took her, to the North Shore. And even as someone who went to college here and grew up in Wisconsin, I never really appreciated how awesome and beautiful it is up there. I mean,
we go back every year.
Every year, yeah.
Oh, really?
Love it up there.
I'm going here for the 4th.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But even I think like beyond that, we lived in the apartment. We were overlooking the Mississippi River, and to have like the path there, biking and walking, and then also just being in the city still was such a cool contrast.
Yeah, right along the river there, where again, kind of there's a crazy buffer where you're like, this is the city, and then you pop out and you're like, yeah, we're like literally in the middle of the city. Yeah, that's very cool.
And great for cycling. We both like to cycle, and paths everywhere, and it's really great if you like to cycle.
I think that we covered access to green spaces, like so maybe not on like an up north thing, but access to parks, green spaces, trails. Comparison?
I mean, I think it's better.
Cycling, way better here. I mean, in Santa Barbara, you're kind of locked in between the mountains and the ocean. There's like, 5 miles or not much, in width. So you're like doing the same routes. I mean, they're gorgeous, but there's more variety here.
Yeah.
And I think it's so much, coming from Chicago, it's a city in the gardens, right? 'Cause they have a lot of great parks. But one thing that always bothered me there was to get into like what I considered nature. You had to drive like, 2, 3, 4 hours. That's if you had a car and if you knew, someone that lived or had a cabin or something. And here you can, get that same feeling, at least I can, in the city. Or if you just drive, 20 minutes, if that, you're kind of have access to that.
I mean, that makes sense. You mentioned bikeability. What about like walkability between the two? I guess both. I'd really be curious to hear both.
I mean, when we lived in the North Loop, we had the river Parkway. So that was amazing. I mean, I'm not a fan of walking. Sorry. If I'm like a hiking. So if like you go somewhere and hike, yes, but I'm not, he walks the dog. I don't. So for me, I don't think I can like
weigh in.
Yeah, not that much.
Yeah, and that was something that I kind of gave up when we moved to where we live in, because we're in a neighborhood, but it's, as far as like safety and walking, it's super safe. Our backyard backs up into like a walking path that connects to, the state fairgrounds, that connects to a park. I take the dog in every day. And then when we lived in the North Loop, not only did we have access to like the nature, but also, grocery store, coffee shops. And in Chicago, every neighborhood has kind of that, but you're in the city and you feel it the whole time. Whereas here, even when we were in the North Loop, like in, kind of the hip, kind of busier nightlife, it didn't feel like suffocating that kind of bigger cities kind of feel sometimes.
No.
Interesting.
Agreed. Yeah.
Cool. Good way of putting it.
So just talk about kind of like the nature and the similarities or differences. What about city aesthetics? Kind of like the man-made, elements of the place you live, or, you can include all, North Loop, where you live now?
And there's more history here, and some, those old buildings, the factory buildings, and apartment buildings have been built within those places. So I think it's really pretty, or like the bridge across the river, Stone Arch Bridge, like stunning, I think, when it comes to some of the architecture. I mean, some skyscrapers, but not that many. I think it's pleasing to the eyes.
Yeah. I think it's like Minneapolis has definitely more of that kind of modern, like some of the more museums, the high rises, I think like some of the newer apartment buildings have gone up, but I think there is an effort to kind of keep things a certain aesthetic vibe, which is really kind of fits in well. And then I love the like historic part of St. Paul and downtown. And yeah, I mean, I love history. And so, like Al Capone and like the caves where they used to run, rum and stuff in downtown. And, the history of Minneapolis being, kind of like the original mill city, and all these cool companies that are now household names kind of grew up on the river there. And it was such an important part. So it's cool how it kind of blends in. It takes advantage of kind of the geography and its roots in that way.
Yeah. I actually just heard that there's a new building for sale in Minneapolis. That's the oldest skyscraper like that exists outside of New York, which kind of blew my mind. I would for sure would have thought Chicago would beat it or something, would be older, but yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It's like, a very historic building here, and I wish I remembered the name of it. But yeah, the crazy to know that there's older building here than the likes of Chicago or even like Philly. There's so many places I would think would have older buildings in here, but obviously older buildings, but not older skyscrapers. But cool. Cleanliness? Any thoughts on between the two?
Santa Barbara is so clean. I mean, there's no billboards anywhere. And then there's, but I mean, I don't think compared, Minneapolis is pretty close to the same. Like, I find this a pretty clean city, honestly, compare it to like even just Paris or New York or something.
Certainly cleaner than Chicago, like by far cleaner. I mean, even the like air isn't as dusty. Like, sometimes when you're like a bigger city, you can just kind of feel it.
A bit of exhaust or something.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just, yeah. And here it's, you don't get that. And I think people, like I see people pick up trash when we used to walk along the river, just, they'd be out walking a dog and they'd see like a wrapper, they just pick it up and throw it away. And I think that people kind of take pride in that a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned food as being high priority.
Yes.
Give me the rundown between the two.
I mean, I feel like there's more variety here. In California, you have, I think, access to amazing produce all year long. So it's very farm to table, but I feel like there's less options. It's a lot smaller of a city, but you get really high quality. Whereas, I mean, here, like I said, there's some amazing gems of restaurants, some farm to tables that we've been to, and
do you have any,
can't complain, really.
Put you on the spot. Do you have any favorite spots?
Loved Owamni when we went there. I loved that place. What else do I love? Oh, I like Petit Leon by the knitting store I go to. Kalula?
Oh, Kalita?
Is it?
Oh, no, Kaluna.
Kaluna.
Kaluna is very cool.
Yeah. What else do I like?
We've been to Demi a few times, and it's kind of more upscale, but we enjoyed our experience.
Went to Travai.
Yeah, Travai was
That was
cool.
fun. So
our like go-to date spot when we lived downtown was in Monte Carlo.
yeah, we love the wings and the green beans. We got that every time.
Yeah, we had our order down. Yeah. Our favorite bartender.
Great bars.
Yeah.
Any thought on food scene versus Chicago?
I mean, Chicago has an awesome food scene, obviously, and they have some Michelin star restaurants, which I think unfairly the cities doesn't have yet. But everything here is so much more accessible. And I think like I don't know the calculation, I bet you we would have more like just solid restaurants per capita. And there were places in Chicago you'd hear about, they were the new hot thing or whatever. And I would never have thought I would have been able to like get a reservation to get in and B, like afford it. And here, I think, barring a few, I think like Boucheron just got the James Beard, that's like a reservation's maybe a month and a half out, but even that is still not too bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot like my ultimate favorite, Parzana.
Oh yeah, Porzana. Yeah. So
We should go. We haven't been there in a little while. We should get there.
Yeah.
Corzana is very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nari, same chef. Did you know that?
Oh no.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Going that Friday, I can't wait.
Yeah.
What about like access to entertainment, sports, music?
Theater.
I'm gonna definitely. Santa Barbara doesn't have any teams of any kind for sports.
But even concerts, like,
We have a cool concert venue, but it's a lot smaller, so we don't have like massive names. So here you have the Armory and the
US Bank
Stadium, where you have huge titles. So I would say for entertainment purposes, better here.
It's super easy to access everything. So Minneapolis has like a professional sports team of, like every sport that I can think of. And it's awesome how easy it is to go down and like grab dinner or drinks before a game and then walk to, US Bank or Target Center. And I think, so again, like more accessible in that way, a lot easier than Chicago. Like to go see a Blackhawks game, would have been hundreds of dollars and you have to take a cab out there. And here it's a lot more affordable, which is maybe a commentary on how good or not some of the teams, have been historically. But I feel like the Wolves, I'm a Packers fan. So like, I'm a Packers fan. So I'll never be, cheering for the Vikings. But the Wolves have been really good. Obviously the Lynx have been good. The men's and women's professional soccer teams have been good. And those games are a ton of fun. The stadiums are a lot newer and nicer and like more pleasant to go to games. And
yeah, I can't believe how many sports teams there are here. I never really grew up with like sports. So there's so many options.
Santa Barbara, I think of as being close to LA, but is that like not really an option to go into LA for most things?
You can. You're a big fan. I'm sure you do, but I don't want to drive to LA.
What drive time?
So, no traffic, an hour and a half, but there's rarely.
There's never no traffic.
They could be 2.5 to 3 hours if there's no.
It's the first month of COVID, it would be an hour.
Yeah. Correct. Kind of just answered our next question, actually. We were going to lead into. So yeah, traffic differences between the two places.
When I was in Chicago, I never owned a car because you didn't need to. And, just dealing with parking and traffic. And I took public transit everywhere.
I think that there's a lot less traffic here. And it's funny when we check to see like to go places and there's traffic, David gets like upset. And I'm like, it's only a 20-minute drive with traffic. Like that's nothing. Like it's absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I commute across town from kind of the north to the south. I work in the airport in Bloomington. So I kind of cut across the two cities. And I think the most traffic I have is maybe 25, 30-minute drive. And that's, there's a lot of construction. Construction season's usually pretty pronounced here. But yeah,
but to me, I don't think that's traffic. I'm not spending hours in the car to get somewhere.
Yeah. And I think anywhere you'd want to go is no more than like a 20 to 30-minute drive. And we are pretty spoiled in LA to live in a big city with that.
Yeah. I feel like we drive probably more than the average person. And you're like going to the ends, from one end to the other. That, is about as long, I don't know, Farmington to like St. Michael or Stillwater to like Chaska. Yeah. You're like, well, that's a hike, but it's even that. It's less than an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's like literally you're at the end, there's no more metro left on either side of that. And maybe this is a similar thing, infrastructure. And actually, maybe public transportation. Chicago beats us. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as getting around a lot easier.
Like relying on it solely. Yeah.
But even, when I lived here for the first couple of years, I lived in Minneapolis. I worked in St. Paul. I didn't own a car and I took the light rail or I biked and I had no issue. Like I didn't feel like my lifestyle was being crimped because I didn't own a car. I wasn't able to, everything I needed was walking or on the light rail or biking. So yeah, it's, I know that they're doing a lot more to expand kind of bus routes and stuff, which I haven't been on yet. But Chicago just has more of it, and it's more of baked into, I think, the lifestyle there than it is here for sure.
I think there's like the idea of a train feels more, I don't know, reliable. It seems like, I'll just take the train every day. Yeah. Whereas like, I think fewer people are more hesitant to just be like, I'm just going to take the bus every day. It's a culture thing or something, but they're ultimately saying,
it is. It's
there's I don't know, something about it that people are less, and maybe the reliability of a bus or the traffic or
if you just don't grow up doing it, or if you don't really know anybody who ever
it's not long down as much.
It just seems like less of a priority.
They have buses, but never taken the bus there, so just drive everywhere.
Fair. Infrastructure then, beyond public transportation. Any notable difference?
The roads here, I think, are better maintained. I think probably because, at least compared to California, but here, I think they know how to take care of it better when things go wrong with the winter and kind of the change in seasons.
They also have to.
They have to, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas in California, pretty notorious for bad roads because they don't fix them right away.
I do think that. Yeah.
So even for biking, you're like...
Yeah.
I also think about if they fix them all the time, the traffic would be even even worse. Which would be
How did it get bad in the first place, though? Like, I assume, like, here it's, it's pretty evident, like the freeze thaw cycle. But like, if it's 70 degrees throughout the entire year, like, what is
Honestly, earthquakes maybe,
and just traffic, probably.
Yeah. Volume.
Yeah, pure volume alone.
Yeah. We already talked about the airport here, but that's awesome. I think I would count that in infrastructure. I haven't lived anywhere else where it's better as far as accessibility and just where you can go in the world anywhere. I mean,
That was one of our sections on this.
led right into our next one?
In Santa Barbara has a pretty great airport. It's just tiny. There's 4 gates.
yeah.
Oh, great.
And you can wait outside for your flight, which is cool. But
So it's a beautiful airport, stunning. You get through security in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but again, you can't go everywhere.
Yeah.
You have
and it's
to take-
expensive flight.
It is a lot more expensive.
Interesting. Yeah, honestly, I think that's the airport question. So that's good.
For sure.
You mentioned kind of like the air quality of Chicago. Air quality probably pretty good in Santa Barbara, I
Yeah.
would assume.
Amazing, yeah. 'Cause
How big is Santa Barbara, people-wise, do you know?
Santa Barbara's kind of made up Montecito, Santa Barbara, Goleta. And I think that the 3 cities, it's probably like maybe 200,000 people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Because, yeah, LA, I don't think it is having great air quality.
No,
It's like,
absolutely not.
and-
I mean, yeah. I don't know how many people are in LA, 10 million or something. Yeah.
Many, right?
yeah. And then like water quality, notice any difference?
Like water that you drink.
Drinking water, I would say, yeah.
We have like a filtered system in our house, so I only drink that.
Reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of a water.
I would not drink tap water here or in Santa Barbara.
That's fair.
Whereas I drink out of the tap. I think it's straight from the Mississippi. Like, yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah. But I mean, like swimming here, like we've swam in all the lakes we've visited, and that's great. Yeah, air quality, like when there's wildfires. I mean, but that's...
We have fires in Santa Barbara too, from the valleys and stuff. So we can get bad days there too.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, no fault of, the area.
Yeah, it's interesting though. It's kind of a new
It is.
thing for a year
For sure, yeah.
it has a few years.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. I mean, and I have a reverse osmosis, and I'm a snob now about water. I'm just like, like our gym, like we go to the gym, and it's terrible water comparatively. It's like swill. I'm living, but yeah, I don't know. It took like 3 days. Yeah, it took 3 days, and I'm a snob about water.